What's going on, y'all? It's me, Psychic Charm, and today I'm going to be talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves getting LaMelo Ball, as well as the Charlotte Hornets moving on from LaMelo Ball. I have a lot of thoughts about this one. We'll get right to it. So, firstly, I don't know what the Hornets are doing here. I'm just being frank. The report came out during the second round of the draft last night, and I paid attention to it, but I thought it'd be better than this if they were going to do a trade. But even then, when that report came out, I'm like, why are y'all trying to trade LaMelo Ball after the season and turnaround you just had? I believe it was in December. They went on like a big 10 or more game win streak. I forget what it was. They were one of the hottest teams in basketball to close out the season. They beat my Miami Heat in the play-in, and I can testify how good LaMelo Ball was in that game and how bad Con Knippel or Brandon Miller were without him. That team was not good without him in the lineup in that game, and I just don't really understand why the Hornets would do this. I know LaMelo's had injuries. I know that maybe you think his play style you can't win a championship with, but remove yourself from that. This has been the most successful season the Hornets have had in 10 years? With LaMelo actually playing the games, they're 41-31. And again, that's not perfect, but that is a winning record with LaMelo in the lineup. And maybe you are worried about his availability, and I get that. You could have at least waited till next season if you're going to do this. Maybe you're selling high, quote unquote, but even then, the return you got, I'm just baffled by the more I think about it. The only good thing they did, I believe, was create a massive trade exception, which I'll get to, in the possibility that they make a big trade. Before I get to that, they were horrible. The Hornets were not good without LaMelo Ball. They were 11 points better with him on the floor than when he was off the floor. That team was not good. He was, if you watch the Hornets play basketball, he was their engine. And I know they lost in the play-in to the Orlando Magic. We saw what the Magic did to the Pistons. They went up 3-1 and that series went to 7 games. I guess they're selling high. I just don't buy it. They got 1 unprotected first, I think in the 2030s, and 3 pick swaps, which you can still trade because of the Stepien rule. And why are you making pick swaps with the Wolves? Maybe some of those are good in the far future, but odds are that you're going to be the worst team, especially after trading LaMelo and giving LaMelo to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I just don't understand it at all. This, I wouldn't say it's like the Luka trade, but it gives me very similar feelings to that, because Luka got traded after leading his team to the NBA Finals, and LaMelo, after having the most successful regular season in the last 10 years for the Hornets, gets traded. And I like this for the Wolves. I give the Wolves an A. I give the Hornets an F. I give the Minnesota Timberwolves an A. Maybe they gave up too much of the pick swaps, but still you can trade them because of the Stepien rule. I like this trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they had me worried after they basically just salary dumped Julius Randle to the Nets. I was like, oh, is it just going to be Ant next year? I don't understand. Are they just ducking the tax again, like what they did with Karl Towns? They got LaMelo Ball, and they only gave up Naz Reid, which I'm sure the franchise is not thrilled about. But listen, you got LaMelo Ball, and you still have those picks technically. You only give up 1 in the future. You have those in swaps, and you're probably going to be the better team, so I don't know how much it will ultimately affect you in the end. This starting 5 of Ayo Dosunmu, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert, I like. And the bench, it's how the Minnesota Timberwolves bench always is. It's a little iffy. Terrence Shannon Jr., maybe Chris Finch will play him. We saw he played good against the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals 2 seasons ago, and he didn't get any playing time then. And now he did it again versus the Nuggets, and he had not efficient games versus the Spurs, but most of the Wolves didn't, considering this how hurt their roster was. Maybe he'll get more playing time, and you drafted Isaiah Evans in the second round, and I like him personally out of Duke. He is a good 3-point shooter and just a good all-around scorer, at least when I watched him alongside Cam Boozer. The Spurs exposed a lot of the Wolves' weaknesses. Lack of ball handling and elite playmaking, and that's exactly what LaMelo Ball brings. I know Anthony Edwards was hurt, but he's really the only elite ball handler on that team, and Dante DiVincenzo going out did not help. Now you add LaMelo Ball, And I think he's going to elevate the games of like Jaden McDaniels or Rudy Gobert, hopefully. And, you know, maybe a Joan Berenger if they start. I mean, they're going to have to play him more now since they don't have Naz Reid. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a top 10, top 5 maybe offense. You know, the defense is going to be good too. It's probably going to be a top 10 defense with Rudy Gobert as long as he doesn't regress. You still got Ant, solid defender, and you have Jaden McDaniels. And I would assume he's a solid defender. And I think that this team is going to be pretty good. I don't know where the Hornets pivot to now. You need a point guard. I don't know who you get. You shouldn't be in this predicament because I don't know like who the hell you're gonna get. Like, I guess the best move, the best swing, if you will, is Ja Morant. I'm not even fully sold on that. Maybe that could work. He can get downhill. He's not as athletic as he used to be. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You gonna trade for like Jaylen Brown so you can give up Khan or Brandon Miller? Like, no way the Celtics don't do that and get one of those guys. And why would you do that? Why would you? Oh, like, it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. And the Celtics don't want like a bunch of picks. If you're going to trade for Jaylen Brown, why would the Celtics want picks? Why? They want players. They're trying to compete for championships. It makes no sense in the world for just, I don't know. This trade's so confusing. You could trade for De'Aaron Fox, I guess. Maybe that's another name I wrote down, but why? You could sign Anthony Simons. Like, I don't think Kobe White is going to be that guy for y'all either. They signed him to a 3-year, $75 million deal, but he can't do the same things LaMelo Ball does. He's not that level of playmaker or scorer. I give him an F. Maybe y'all sign Norman Powell. Congratulations, you steal him from us. It's depressing because, I mean, the Hornets, man, they deserve a good season. Like, their fans really deserved what happened. And just to do this, maybe we'll all be wrong. Maybe because I don't think anybody likes this trade unless you're just not super high on LaMelo Ball. After last season, like if you did it before, sure. But after what we just saw, I don't understand it. Minnesota Timberwolves and their ball handling and especially their 3-point shooting now, man. Imagine like LaMelo Ball out there playmaking and he's already a good 3-point shooter alongside Anthony Edwards. Jaden McDaniels, I would assume like, man, that's why I think this is going to be one of the best like offenses in the league if it's healthy. You're still going to be a good two-way team as well. Does this make you better than the San Antonio Spurs or the OKC Thunder? No. I don't think it does. I think those teams are still better by a pretty good margin at this point. But are you a possible dark horse contender where you could maybe upset one of these teams in a series? Because we've seen the Minnesota Timberwolves upset teams in this era. Yeah, I'd say so still. Like, could they finish third in the West? I think it's entirely possible. Third, fourth, fifth. I think they could get home court in the first round now with who they have now. I mean, maybe Portland shoots up. Maybe the Rockets turn things around, I guess. Maybe the Nuggets figure it out. Jokic lost him a bunch of weight, and I saw that's been getting a bunch of hype, but I still don't understand this trade. Shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves because this trade, I was worried for them, but I think this really saved things. And I only have a couple issues. Like maybe their starting three of Ayo Dosunmu, Anthony Edwards, and Ayo are a little too small, but Ayo is a player that feels like he can guard above his size. Like LaMelo is like a 6'6" guard, and Ant's like 6'5". So you have a bigger just backcourt in general, and you have Rudy Gobert, and he held it together in Utah for all those years, and you still got Jaden McDaniels, and he can play the 4 at 6'9", so I think it's ultimately worth it. And you move off Julius Randle, who was just horrible for y'all, and horrible in the conference final, or not conference finals, in the second round versus the Spurs. I like this move. I don't know if they'll do anything else, but I'm starting to like this roster. I hope that they can find a way to maybe move off Dante DiVincenzo if he isn't going to be ready in time. I hate to do that because he's like, I think he could add a lot to this team as well, especially its 3-point shooting. You know, if you're going to be a team to compete against OKC or the Spurs, you got to be a pretty good spaced out team. I think that complements Ant and LaMelo now so well. But anyways, I've rambled for long enough. Let me know what y'all think about this trade in the comments below. This has been Psychic Charm. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that usual YouTube stuff. And as always, peace out, y'all.